Data Pack version 93 and Resource Pack version 73 were both introduced with Snapshot 25W45A and bring us a new system of timelines for changing environment attributes over time, and more. My name is Sliced Lime, and this is an overview of the changes. Let's start with environment attributes and that new timelines system. Timelines are a new registry type with JSON files in the timeline folder. Each timeline has a period measured in ticks and a number of environment attribute tracks. Those tracks each then have keyframes for how that particular environment attribute should be set at that keyframe time and interpolation settings for the easing between them. The easing is controlled by the ease field on each track and controls how changes apply in between the keyframes, and has 32 different modes. And in addition to the predefined 32 modes, you can also define a cubic base year spline segment by specifying its control points. With this, the priority order for how environment effects apply has also been extended. This version also brings a number of new environment attributes in use with the timelines. They include new attributes for many aspects of the sky related to time, including aspects of the sun, moon, and stars. Some of the new environment attributes control the time-based functionality of how blocks work, like the openness of eye blossoms and the chance that a turtle egg will hatch. And finally, a number of them control mob-related behaviors, like when a creaking is active, what activities villagers do at various times, and the spawn chance of slimes on the surface. There's also a new modifier in this version for color attributes, Blend to Gray. The way that timelines are activated is related to some of the changes to dimension types. They no longer have natural or effects fields, instead relying on a timelines field, which is a timeline ID, list of timeline IDs, or hash prefixed timeline tag. The remaining pieces of dimension type effects that are not controlled by timelines are now the skybox, which can be set separately, the cardinal light field, and the fixed time field has been replaced by a has fixed time boolean. The vanilla dimensions now also have built-in timeline tags together with a universal tag that is active in all of them. The Without Patrol Spawns biome tag has been removed, and a Spawns Coral variant Zombie Nautilus biome tag has been added. And that brings us to another new feature in these pack versions, Zombie Nautilus variants. They are a data-driven variant registry just like other mob variants with the usual model, asset ID, and spawn conditions fields. In this case, model is one of normal and warm. There's now also a new advancement trigger called Spear Mobs for attacks using a spear, with fields for the player and number of mobs. In item component news, the piercing weapon item component no longer causes the attack cooldown damage penalty to be ignored, and the reach and hitbox margin fields of piercing and kinetic weapon components now have appropriate limits. A loot table fix for this version. Loot tables now once again support SNBT format for entity data. And in command news, the saddle slot of untamed zombie and skeleton horses can now be modified using the item command. Moving on to the resource pack changes, there are of course new assets for the added items and variants. The block and item texture atlases have been split. This means now all block model textures must come from the blocks atlas, and all textures used by an item model must come from the same atlas. In item model news, entity data item component detection now works once again. And that's it for the changes in these pack versions. Thank you for watching. My name is Sliced Lime, and I'll see you next time.